Rich Eisen, a guy on NFL Network, his best case scenario for the Browns in 2024. This from the Rich Eisen Show.
Deshaun Watson returns to his form, and he's a finalist for the most valuable player.
Okay.
Nick Chubb wins comeback player of the year.
That would be nice.
And then Myles Garrett leads the league in sacks. Again, I'm not going defensive player of the year. That's for you, JJ. And guess what? They win the division. First time since 1989. They win their division.
The number.
And they're the ones who eliminate the Chiefs. And it does. Deshaun Watson, let's say he goes up by like 24, holds on to that lead in Arrowhead, and wins the Super Bowl.
Oh, my.
The Browns get their Super Bowl.
Wow. Down to Armageddon.
I'm telling you, you think the Browns can't win the Super Bowl this year as a best case scenario, you got to check yourself.
Wow. With that, let's welcome in G. Bush, 92.3 The Fans of the Barbershop, also the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Best case scenario, absolutely is that the Browns win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, listen, I ran across this clip and I talked about it, on another blog, and I said, well, let's look at this. Best case scenario, you take a look at what NFL finalists for the MVP award, what they usually traditionally do. You go back and look through the last 5 or 6 MVPs. You take a look at Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, guys like that. We're looking at you throwing for at least over 4,000 yards and at least over 30 touchdowns. That's just the bare minimum. If you look over the last 5 years, you just average the top quarterbacks. You take a look at comeback player of the year. Generally speaking, that is a quarterback award. Over the last 5 years, you take a look at the quarterbacks who have been involved with that, and you take a look at actually Joe Flacco won that award for the Cleveland Browns last year. If Nick Chubb wins comeback player of the year, he's going to have to be putting up some pretty monster numbers coming off a knee injury. So that I would be willing to wager he's going to at least have to have over 1,000 yards and almost double-digit touchdowns in his comeback year to be comeback player of the year. And if you look at the guys that are the top guys that lead the league in sacks over the last few years, we've had a couple of times where T.J. Watt has had 22 sacks. You have multiple guys that are over 18, 19 sacks. So that puts Myles Garrett, if he leads the league in sacks, that puts you anywhere from 18 to 20 sacks in the same year. So if all three of those things happen, and you telling me Deshaun Watson gets 4,300 yards and about 35, 36 touchdowns, Nick Chubb, in limited duty gets over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns, and Myles Garrett has 18 to 20 sacks, Cleveland Browns are definitely in the Super Bowl. I'm willing to wager that's a very easy way to look at it. With that type of production and not even counting anything else, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns are in the Super Bowl.